Hi, and welcome to the I Am Perfectly Frank podcast. I am Frankie George-mccullough, and the topics we have in these podcasts are intuition, self-fulfillment, and trusting yourself. You'll see that I will be perfectly frank, and please subscribe to this podcast on your favorite platform. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the I Am Perfectly Frank podcast. This, again, is taken from the book. As I said, we'd gone off on some rants. And this is an interesting topic because the topic is about the way we do anything in our behavior is the way we do everything. Remember, all of this shows up in our physical body, in the words we use, and how we react, how we behave. You'll see, we'll get more into this as you understand that the way we do anything is the way we do everything, and how to observe that so that you can make changes for you that are going to get you the results you want. Enjoy.
Okay, but maybe he's not worth the time it's taking you to try to screw yourself into some way to be okay with all the shit he does that isn't working for you.
How about maybe he's not worth my time?
Not worth my time. And you can say to him, hey man, is that really what you want? Is this how you really want to do things? And if that's truly what you want, I'm okay with that, just not with me.
Yeah, as women, we have these fallacies, these fantasies of, oh, he just needs someone in his life to love him enough, and then he will change.
No. Behavior is behavior. It's not you. It's not your character. It's behavior. It's like doing math. I do math with my left hand or I do it with my right hand. It's behavior. How we do one thing is how we will do everything. If he's not considerate of you when it comes to time, he's not going to be considerate in other ways. It's just how people are. Go ahead.
I think we need to say, not that he's not going to be considerate in other ways, because that's not always the truth, is he's not going to be considerate with other people in relationship to time. See, if I'm always late, I'm not just always late with you. I'm late with every human being. It's the nature of me. I'm always early. Just like you, Rachel, you're always early. Mm-hmm. It can be annoying sometimes. Don't show up fucking early in my driveway. I'm okay with that, by the way. But for some people, it's not comfortable. It's like, shit, now I got to rush and get ready, and I got to go open the door for them. Mm-hmm. And, oh, what are they waiting in their car for? I just came downstairs to open the door for them. And you're like, I'm just going to wait in my car until that time. And then right at that time, you're at the door, and they're like, fuck, I need 5 more minutes.
That's why I've been driving around your block for now. So I'm not there early anymore.
But it's the same thing with being late. If he's late for you, I promise you, he's late for everybody. If he takes 2.5 hours to shit, he's going to do it all the time. Okay, that's just
Johnny's laughing.
So let's say this: if he's not considerate of you when it comes to time,
he's not considerate of anyone.
He's not considerate of anyone when it comes to time.
Exactly. That's what has to be said, because they're considerate about other things. It's just time.
Okay. If he's not considerate of you when it comes to time, he's not considerate of anyone when it comes to time.
Exactly. Rachel, are you on time with everyone?
Yeah,
me too.
You mean early?
Me too. I'm early with everyone.
You're early, I'm on time.
And you're on time. And I have friends, they're not on time. It has nothing to do with me. Mm-hmm. It doesn't mean they're trying to disrespect me. It doesn't mean that they're trying to fuck me over. It just means I'm not an on-time person. I got on-time people that say the traffic was terrible. I'm like, okay, this is your appointment time is from this to this. You show up 40 minutes late. You only have 20 minutes left. I'm not giving you any more time. And it's still going to cost you the same thing. They're not going to change. Now, I could change and say, okay, look, I know they're always late, and I really want to give them their time. So I'm going to schedule their appointment a half hour later than they say they're going to be there.
We used to do that at the dental office all the time.
Because now I'm still respecting me, because I don't have to take that 40 minutes and get bent out of shape.
Right.
Right? I'm the one who suffers when he's late. He's not suffering. Okay.
Right. And isn't that really the point?
Yes.
The point is, I don't want to have to suffer because he's always late.
Right.
So,
or whatever
it is, he's always.
He always forgets to buy me gifts. He always,
That was a little too personal.
Okay.
I'm early only because number one, I have traffic anxiety. So like, God forbid I'm stuck in traffic, but I also don't like my life, like my day to be a run on sentence. I want to be able to sit in the parking lot and segment intend my next hour meeting or whatever it is. So that, okay, this is going to, like, I can sit with myself and think and just, okay, so the drive was over, whatever, if I was in traffic or not, that is done. I now need to sit for 5 minutes and just, okay, my next, whatever the next thing is, will be amazing or incredible or just segment intending. So I chunk it up into those segments of my day because I used to feel like the hamster on the wheel, right? It was just, my day was one big fucking long run-on sentence. There was no periods in between. And I had to just say, okay, even if I'm sitting there for 45 minutes, it's 45 minutes to myself.
Right.
I mean, I'm like, okay, like I could sit for 45 minutes on my couch before I leave and hope I make it on time, or I can just be there and know I'm there.
How about you? Were you always an on-time person? Did it come from somebody showing you the way?
That's an interesting thing. I'm not sure that I've ever thought about it entirely, except that for me, I have a thing around my time belonging to me. So if I come, see, it's kind of it's a flavor of what you're doing, but I would prefer that 20 minutes at home to get myself ready. So that ritual of getting myself ready, I put my makeup on, I do my hair, I take a few minutes, I brew myself some fresh coffee. I'd rather have that extra 20 minutes at home before I leave. Then I can show up here like fresh and ready. So it's that sort of thing for me.
Right.
That's why I like to be on time. I hate to be late. Absolutely hate to be late. And I do typically build in a few minutes for the unexpected. But I like to, there's something for me about just showing up on time.
Okay.
That feels good.
Do you like map out where you're going to see what the parking is
Yes.
like? I do that. Do you look up a menu of a restaurant you know you're going to see
Yes.
what the food is on the menu? I totally do all that. There are no fucking surprises in my life. I know exactly what's happening.
Right. These are beautiful examples of how we're different. Do you want to know how so this would be an example of how men don't ask you a question back.
Yes, how do you? I was going to. We were almost there. I was just about
perfect.
to.
It
We're
was
looking
perfect.
at you. That's your cue.
Expectantly looking at you.
I'm the youngest of 7, and my brother Sam. This is a shout out to you, Sam. My brother Sam and his moving company, Aberdeen Moving.
Say it again one more time. Ready?
Aberdeen Moving Company, or really it's Veterans Van Lines. My brother Sam is doing some stuff for veterans to help veterans, because he's a veteran himself, to succeed. And it's beautiful. So Veterans Van Lines to Sam George. When I was young, Sam, I took something out of a drawer and I didn't put it back. And this boy was pissed. And he said, Francis, if you want to take something of mine, you can take it anytime you want, but put it back exactly where you got it from. He said, and if you want something from me, you be there before you told me you were going to be there, and I'll be right on time. So that's the only reason I'm on time or early, because Sam scared the shit out of me. Okay, and for myself, I don't do this. For myself, I don't put things back exactly where I got them from. A lot of things I do, but most of the time I don't. But when I'm with another person, I'm in their home or in their space, if I'm going to take it, I'm going to ask, and I'm going to put it back exactly where I got it from. So that's a great example of 3 different behaviors and what drives those behaviors. That's a perfect example. So in knowing that, understanding how you must come from the way you operate. And some of it is comfort, some of it is completely uncomfortable. So that, we are human. We learned from what we learned from, period. And we can learn differently as we choose to go along.
All right. So I'm going back to if he's not considerate. If he's not considerate of you when it comes to time, he's not considerate of anyone when it comes to time. It's just how people are. Realizing it has nothing to do with you is so important.
So just one last thing on this topic of the way we do anything is the way we do everything. I would offer you the thought that you might want to observe it in yourself first. When you get up in the morning, what's the first thing you generally do? How do you shower? Do you shower your body and then you wash your hair? Observe how your behavior is throughout the day. Do you interact with people? Are you grouchy or grumpy in the morning? Are you naturally a reactive person, or are you someone that can be calm and easy? Are you loud like me? I am loud. My daughter will often say, Mom, why do you have to be so loud? And I have a tone in my voice because I get excited. And that excitement comes off as, hey, Emma, what are you doing? So observe in yourself first. That's going to help you observe in another human being. Examples we used were if someone's late or on time. Another example is where they place their shoes or when they walk in the house and put stuff down. Another example could be the language they use. I cuss like a truck driver. I do my best to get out of the way and not do that, although I still cuss like a truck driver. I do that with everybody. It's not just one person. I am kind. I am inspirational, or I think I am. This is how I feel about me, right? I'm short. Nothing's going to change that. Maybe I wear high heel shoes sometimes. My point is that the way you behave with your mom, your sister, your brother is also the way you behave in much of our behavior with everybody else in the world. If you are, as my mother would say, sourpuss, if you're a sourpuss, you're a sourpuss. That's all there is to it. That doesn't mean you're not nice or kind. Just means you always have attitude, right? For whatever the reason is you're holding on. I would offer you the thought that if you can observe that in yourself, you will be able to start to observe it in other people. Oh, look, he always kisses people when he sees them. Oh, look, he never says hello. I have to introduce him as, hey, this is Bob. And Bob will then go, nice to meet you. But with me, when it's one-on-one, he's so different. So he obviously doesn't like crowds or people. Or you observe in him that when you're with a group of people, he just sits back and doesn't participate. Why is that? It's because he needs to get to know them first, because that's his comfort level. Observe that he does that with everyone, or her. Observe that she always jumps in and helps, right? And then at the end of the day, she's exhausted and she wishes she didn't do so much. Yet it made her happy. And is she going to change? Maybe, maybe not. Maybe for her, that is a place that makes her feel valuable. Observe that. Is that the way you are? Do you do it everywhere? Not just with your mom, but at my mom's house, at my friend's house? She may need to be a helper. How is it serving her? Is she helping too much? It's never what you do in your behavior that causes the problem. It's often who you do it with and how much you're doing it. It's difficult, but if you can observe yourself, you can start to pay attention. We don't have a video screen in front of us that we can see ourselves like I do right now doing this podcast. But we can't see ourselves in our behavior unless we slow down and pay attention to it. When I was first raising my kids as young kids, I would tell them the first rule in life is pay attention. I would say to them, the way to pay attention is to slow down. Well, these are kids. I'm thinking they're going to finally figure this out. They're just trying to do this thing called life. As they became adults, I realized some of it set in. They realized the first rule in life is pay attention. I don't know if they've looked at it yet and went, what does that actually mean? Pay attention. That means to observe, especially you. You are the most important person in your life. Not your children, not your spouse, not your mom, not your dad. It's you. When you consider you first, you then consider everyone else. When you consider them first, you've left you behind and everything can fall apart. That's why on the airplane, the simple thing, put the mask on you first. Then you can be focused and available to help somebody else because you're still alive. You're breathing the oxygen. Even in situations that are startling, the key can be to just slow down, like, what just happened? What just happened? when it comes to our mates and ourselves, this is a big key. How do I be good to myself? It's not something everybody knows. They have to stop and take a look at it. How do I behave? Am I always this way with everyone? How do I drive the car? Or where do I always park? Where do I like to have things? I'll tell you, one of the frustrating things in my home is I forget I'm living with 3 other people. So nothing ever gets put back where it should, because I never taught them that, because I myself am a sloppy person. So, clean but sloppy, just for clarity. Anyway, that's an observation I was able to make of me. I can decide, am I okay with that? Am I not okay with that? And that's the place change will occur. Do I like that? Do I not like that? What can I do differently to not continue to act in that behavior? Or what can I do differently so this person, the person outside of me, can no longer treat me that way? We've discussed this. We use time. They're always late. You accept their lateness. You get angry. You can't stand waiting. You get mad at them instead of going, you know what? I observe you're always late. So I'm going to make plans with my friends. And when you call me, I'll ask if you can come meet me. Another thing is you always drop stuff. I can observe that. I can do several things. And there's a bunch more than what I tell you. Please know that I'm just giving you ideas. You could leave it there and they could never care. You could move it yourself because it matters that much to you and not get mad at it. It doesn't mean I don't love you. It just means I put my stuff here. I do it at your mom's house. I do it here. I do it at my mom's house. I do it at our friend's house. That's just what I do. I just drop it, right? You can accept that, or you can shake your head and go, there he is, being him, or there she is, being her. Or you can hire an outsider that will always pick up after them. So there's just 3 examples. There's a million more. Mine are just a few. Anyways, please let yourself be kind to yourself. Please, if you slow down and observe and not find fault and blame, your life will be so much easier and so much kinder. You're just being human. You're just being human. On our website, we're going to post Spinoza's God. Einstein would say, people would say to Einstein when he came to America to do lectures, he would say, one of the questions, sorry, I got off there. One of the questions a lot of times he got asked when he went to universities is, do you believe in God? And Einstein would say, I believe in Spinoza's God. And Spinoza was a philosopher, German philosopher, I believe. And for those that didn't know who Spinoza was, it's basically simple. He said that God is in nature. God is in every day. God is in the kindness, and it's in the people, and it's in the beauty that I've created for you. I created you with limitations. I created you with contrast. I created you with all of these different behaviors and these things. Why would I find fault with you and blame you since I put this in you to do this thing called life? We'll post it on the website, IamPerfectlyFrank.com. Thank you for joining us today on this podcast. I hope you have gotten the book, The Man He's Stupid and the Girl She's So Bitch. The audio book is really fun to listen to. I look forward to having you join us again on some other websites. And please, ask some questions. Make some comments. I look forward to giving you some responses or answers. And maybe even a debate. Thank you so much for joining us. Have a great day.
Hi, guys. Thank you for joining us today on this podcast. By the way, at the I Am Perfectly Frank website, you can find information about all the stuff I've been doing for the last 40 years. We treat pain patterns. We are coaches. We do intuitive work. We also do massage. We also help you understand what your pain is telling you so that you don't have it anymore. Anyways, again, check out the IamPerfectlyFrank.com website, and thank you for joining us today.